Live from MUSC Health Stadium, it's match day here in Charleston, South Carolina. Second placed in the Eastern Conference, Charleston Battery getting set to host 15th in the table, Ottawa Fury. Hey everybody, my name's Poppy Miller. I'll be your host for tonight's game. Alongside me, Derek Broadley. Derek, it's a big day. The Battery coming in with 6 consecutive USL wins. Ottawa coming in off 2 wins. One of the players we think will play a huge role in the matchup, a familiar face to the Battery, it's Colin Falvey.
Yeah, Colin's a big, strong central defender who's very effective in both boxes. He'll be the last line of defence and definitely very influential in the opposing team's box.
He started 8 of 8 games for Ottawa this year, and his second stint with the club. He will be one to watch tonight. He also captained the Battery when they won the 2012 USL Championship. As you can see there, him lifting the trophy. For Mike Anhauser's side though, one of the players that's on top form, it's Gordon Wild.
Yeah, Gordon's going in a rich vein of form right now. He's creating goals, he's scoring goals. He's been a real influence recently in all the games, and I'm sure that's really, really good work for the coach, Mike Anhauser.
You're right on Gordon Wild and Atula Guerra tonight. They are the dynamic duo for the black and yellow and have been crucial in the success of the Battery in these last couple of games. Let's take a look at the standings heading into tonight's match. Well, the Battery and Cincinnati are tied on points at the top of the table, but Cincinnati edge first place after winning the head-to-head in the first game of the season. Pittsburgh Riverhounds remain the only team to be undefeated in the East with 4 wins and 4 ties. And then, as we mentioned, Ottawa Fury second from bottom, but coming in with 2 wins against Penn FC and Atlanta United 2 in their last 2 matches. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Banner and kickoff from MUSC Health Stadium. It's the Charleston Battery taking on Ottawa Fury. Up next. For tonight's USL match, it's second place Charleston Battery taking on 15th place Ottawa Fury FC. Poppy Miller here alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match, wherever you are. Well, we are almost at kickoff, but while we have a second, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Banner. For Ottawa Fury, coming into this game, picking up some momentum, Crapo gets the nod in goal as he looks for his 4th consecutive USL clean sheet. And a familiar face around here, Colin Falvey anchors the back line, who has played every game and every minute so far for Ottawa this season. Portilla, the Spaniard, in the centre of the park, and keep your eye on Carl Harworth up top. He got a goal and assist against Atlanta United too, and is in superb form. For Mike Anhauser's side, only one change from the team that faced Bethlehem Steel here last weekend. Nico Rittmeyer in for Jay Bowl on the right flank. Candela and Anunga anchored the middle of the park, and the trio up top, Gordon Wild, Atulagera and Kotaro Higashi. Atulagera has opened the scoring in the last 3 games. Will he make it 4 tonight? We will see. Well, we're about at kickoff, Derek. Big match for both teams, coming in with some momentum, but Charleston Battery just on superb form at the minute.
Yeah, this home run has definitely been fruitful, hasn't it? You know, they've come into the last few games, they've managed to score goals in front. They've really solidified their 3-5-2 formation. You know, the mobility of the front 3 when Gordon Wiles joins, and, you know, when Higashi Kotaro goes on and joins the front 2. You know, they're very, very hard to defend against. I'm really looking forward to watching Ottawa tonight. It said they've sort of turned their season around. I'm sure they're going to be very full of confidence and really fancy their chances today. But 2 good teams, both in form. Really looking forward to it tonight.
You said it. Really looking forward to it. Charleston Battery tied on points with FC Cincinnati at the top of the table, but Cincinnati edged the top spot after beating the Charleston Battery in a head-to-head in the first game of the season. The only game so far that the Battery have lost at home. It's quite the home run. Yeah,
that was a long time ago, when the opening game of the season. And as I said, you know, they've really picked up some momentum both here and on the road. Very hard to beat. You know, I think the only goal they've conceded has been a penalty. So no, it's going to be a really good game. 2 teams full of confidence, going out for one another. So yeah, I think the crowd's in for a real treat tonight.
And on the other side, like we mentioned in the pre-game, Crapo with 3 clean sheets. And we are away here at MUSC Health Stadium. It's Ottawa Fury and the Charleston Battery meeting for the first time this season. Atulagera putting the pressure on in the early going. Candela, nice head forward. Brian Anunga getting caught in a sandwich there, and the Battery regain the possession. Captain Taylor Mueller anchors the 3-man back line for Mike Anhauser's side, and you've got to say it's ever since the 3-man back line that the Battery have found such success.
Yeah, no, I spoke to Coach Anhauser, you know, about an hour before the game, and spoke a little bit about that. I think that sometimes as a coach, you know, you're sort of forced into it, into some situations. He had some some selection problems, and it's definitely paid off. And now, you know, they look very comfortable. Last few games has been a real feature. They knocked the ball around. They've got 3 boys at the back that can all play. Anunga, who's on the ball now, you know, anchors that midfield. Candela's obviously flourishing in that role as well. So no, they look very confident and very accomplished in this formation.
Well, Skylar Thomas and Taylor Mueller have started 9 of 9 games for the Battery, and Neville Hackshaw on this left-hand side has started 8 of 8 and only missed 1 away with the Trinidad and Tobago national team earlier this season. However, though, for Ottawa, they're finding some consistency in the back line, as well as they'll look for their 4th consecutive clean sheet tonight. Only picked up 2 wins of the season so far, and both of those come in the last 2 games, so they'll be looking to build on that tonight.
Yes. I mean, you know, all teams at this level, you know, you need to go in if you're bedding in new players, and as I said, it's one of those phenomenons that coaches, you know, have to try and work out very quickly what's their strongest lineup, what's their best personnel. As I said, Coach Anhauser was forced into it a little bit, probably more so than most other teams, but it's definitely paid off. And as I said, now they look very accomplished in how they're playing.
Portilla just a bit too much on Vincenzo Candela there.
Straight away in the early stages, it looks like Ottawa are just trying to find their shape a little bit. They've moved a few players around. So the player I think that who's done really, really well, who's an unsung hero, is Neville. He's really done well in switching from a midfield player to a back player. He's very accomplished, very quick. Here he's on the ball now. Hackshaw. He's got a great delivery. He can run with it. He's a very good defender, very intelligent player. And I think it's been a real find finding him playing in that position.
Just one change that we're seeing to Ottawa's side from the team sheet that they gave us, which is Anwar Abbasi making his way into the lineup at left back. Here is a chance though for Atula Guerra. Offside, just in this early going. We mentioned him. He'll be looking for his 6th goal this season, scored the opening goals in the last 3 games.
Yeah. Both teams will have plenty of players coming into this game with confidence. You know, both goalkeepers are trying to keep, maintain clean sheets, and clean sheets are like hat tricks for goalkeepers. So, they'll both be keen to do that. So that doesn't lend to a lot of goals being scored, but you look at the strikers that are on fire right now, then, that's a different ball game there. There's plenty of them that are in good form.
Higashi finds Gordon Wild. The counter-attack could be on for the Battery. It's Nico Rittmeyer on the far side. Chips one into the middle. Higashi was there, but Wild can pick it up at the top of the box. Sturdy challenge that. And Ottawa break away. Thomas coming up. Stops him in his tracks. Takes a run down the flank himself. And Wild just a bit too much sauce on that one. Mueller. Comes wide to Hackshaw. Looking for Higashi up top, very small. Kotaro Higashi, the Japanese veteran, won Newcomer of the Year last year after paying his own way to open trials. Impressed Mike Anhauser through pre-season and bagged himself a goal against Seattle Sounders in the Carolina Challenge Cup and has been a mainstay on the side ever since. Keep your eye on him tonight.
Yeah, he's a player that the Battery definitely need to get on the ball. He's very influential when he can get on it, especially in the final third. He can spot a pass, he can run with it, he sees little gaps in behind defences. So he's one that they'll need to play tonight.
Kevin Broadley just bringing them back just a few steps there. Is Steven Dos Santos over the dead ball. Portilla, sorry. To take. Just keeping the possession as they go back to their back line. It's a long ball forward, picked out the sky by Thomas. And Nunga retrieves in the middle. Nice touch out of pressure as he looks up top for the target man, Atula Guerra. Edward. That's a good ball forward to Harworth. Harworth one-on-one with Hackshaw. Van Schaik drops back to help.
It's a needless foul there. They're 2 versus 1 there, the home team. And, Jared Van Schaik there's been too zealous in going in for that tackle, and he's put the visitors into a really good position this early on in the game.
Carl Harworth, the longest serving player for Ottawa Fury, over 100 caps for the club. The Canadian international, originally from England, but has Canadian citizenship. The captain of the squad. Keep your eye on him in the box. It's Oliveira over the dead ball. It's going to be an outswinger. The referee has his eye in the middle of the box. It comes in. Neville Hackshaw heads away, picked up at the back post. So good chip in, back into the back post. The danger isn't over. Portilla taking a shot just wide. No problem there for Joe Kuzminski.
No, again, one of the things the Battery's done in recent games, isn't it? They always get bodies behind the ball. They defend set pieces with large numbers, and recently they've been doing very well in defending those situations. And although it was a shot on goal, it didn't really trouble Joe Kuzminski in between the sticks.
Only conceded 2 goals this season here at MUSC Health Stadium. Only 1 goal in the regular run of play. Last weekend conceded a penalty against Bethlehem Steel, but still came out with the 2-1 win. And won midweek against Tormenta FC. 1-0. It was Patrick Okonkwo the difference. They'll now face Elm City Express on Wednesday evening. And just having those cup matches in there forces Mike Anhauser to look to a deep bench.
Yeah, but I think it's great for those players that are on the fringe of the team, Again, after speaking with him earlier, he got a lot of players, a lot of minutes that haven't seen a lot of time here. And again, other than Nico Rittmeyer, there's been a very steady team for the last few games. So these other cup competitions do give other players a chance to get some good minutes under their belt.
Here could be a chance for Ottawa, regained by Tarbrine and Nunga. It's Hackshaw picking up pace down the flank. Lays one off for Higashi. Worked win with Van Schaik. Very composed at the back as it switches to Thomas. Looking for Rittmeyer. Obasi heads clear.
The mobility of the front three for the Battery, although they play like a 3-5-2, Higashi drops off and leaves Wild and Gare up front, but their movement is very, very good. Any young players watching out there should watch the movement of these front three as they interject all the time. Never once is all three of them stood in a straight line up top. Very good to watch. Now very dangerous to defend against.
Looks like Ottawa could have a chance on the breakaway. It's over at the far side. Just lost in possession coming into the box. Portia over on that far side just causing some problems for Thomas. Ottawa with possession. Falvey. Out wide to Eddie Edward. Portia. Again in the middle of the park. Invites Crapo forward.
Good pressure by the Battery there, wasn't it? They forced them back, forced the goalkeeper to kick long, and then got the cheap free kick there as well. So good pressure by the home team.
Hackshaw with composure at the back. The Battery just enjoying a nice spell of possession.
Yeah, they've got a good balance recently, the Battery, haven't they? Of maintaining possession at the back and then just prodding away, moving the ball from side to side, and every now and again hit a long diagonal ball like that and look to try and exploit the space on the opposite side.
It was Edwards in the challenge with Van Schaik. Van Schaik just using his experience there. Wins the throw.
There's another example. There you go. They split up the plenty of distance between the back three players. They move the ball, rely on their passing, and switch the play into good wide areas.
It's Rittmeyer on the right-hand side. The ball finds Van Schaik at the back post, put back in, and safety first in the middle there from Jamar Dixon.
That's a great little passage of play. Says a lot about what the Battery's been doing recently, haven't they? As I said, working the ball around the back, getting into a wide area. Here we go. Great little cross back in, put in with pace and well defended back there.
It was a dangerous ball in, and now we can expect another one in. It's the Atlanta United loanee, Gordon Wild, with an outswinger, looking at the front post. Portia clears away.
Got to miss that first defender out when you're taking these set plays.
Anunga to get us back underway. Ottawa got a nice defensive shape, forcing the Battery back. Candela out wide to Thomas. Just a bit too deep. No worries there. It's always a bit of a worry when one of your three-man back line gets forward.
Yeah, but it shows the confidence of him, doesn't it? He's prepared to go out there and have a little run with the ball. I'm sure Coach Anhauser's not that keen on seeing his centre-half dribbling up in that final third, but as I said, it just shows you the confidence that's oozing through these back players. It's very interesting, Poppy, isn't it, how teams that come, the Battery have had this settled side. Every team that we've watched recently, they come in and none of them have tried to match them up. They stick with their own shape, don't they? And it seems like the Battery have earned that right to have their own shape at home, and teams are struggling really to break them down on a regular basis.
And it's a completely different formation to what we saw the black and yellow in last season. And a lot of changeover in personnel in the side, so you've got to give Mike Anhauser credit for bringing in the new guys and slotting them in those key places.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as I said, sometimes it's forced into you with your personnel available, but this shape's done very well.
Eddie Edwards to get us back underway. He comes in his second season with Ottawa. He brings that MLS experience. Got several caps for FC Dallas. Just a mainstay in the back line. Anunga. Small touch to Candela. Candela with pace. He's got Rittmeyer. Drops it out wide.
Here they go again. They move the ball round up.
Just caught in possession by Dos Santos. Thomas just in the battle there, and Rittmeyer coming in to help. The referee said that was too much. And it'll be Portilla to get us back underway. After the referee has a little word with Thomas. Just going to be a warning this time from Kevin Broadley.
Great name.
You related?
I don't know. I'll have to find out after the game.
The Battery with everybody back behind the ball other than Guerra. Goes short with it. It's Falvey. Goes home to Crapo. Lofted ball. Rittmeyer picks it out the air. Could that be on for Higashi? Finds his way back through Falvey. Crapo. Nice and composed off his line.
Both times the Battery have had good pressure. They force it back to the keeper, and the keeper's hit two long diagonal passes, and both times they haven't hit their target. So that could be a tactic that we see from the home team going further into this game.
Dos Santos just with the pressure. Brings across Eddie Edward. First name is actually Giovanni. Interesting fact. Nickname Eddie. That's what everyone knows him as. 29-year-old Canadian veteran. Watch him creep up the flanks tonight. Just slowing the momentum of the game down. Assessing his options. Some pushing and shoving going on deep down the line. Hackshaw leaves for Mueller. Guerra with the pressure. And Falvey just coming over the top of him a bit too much there. Van Schaik over the dead ball. Rittmeyer in acres of space on the opposing flank. And Candela is the passage to him. That's one of the things that the Battery have done very well this season, Derek, is switching the play so fast.
Yeah, no, they do. The good ball speed, and they don't mind going direct to the three centre backs, so they'll work it through the midfield players, Anunga or Candela, or any one of the three. They're quite happy to do that.
Rittmeyer in the challenge, comes out on top. Nice coverage from Portilla.
Yeah, the whole shape of this, the way that they've lined up, they're very strong defensively, and with the pace of the three players who occupy the sort of forward areas, and their movement, it's a very sound shape. As I said, other teams have struggled to work them out just now.
And that's the guy that sits in front of them, Brian Anunga. Drops one out to Hackshaw, who's looking for Higashi. Harworth clears away to Dos Santos. The Battery with numbers behind the ball. The Canadian Youth International, Thomas. Out wide to Van Schaik.
When they're doing this, it's hard for the opposition strikers. If you look at, Portilla, he's doing a lot of running chasing the game, and now that he's needed to run forward, he's back in his own half, receiving the ball. I'm sure they want him further up the field. Here they go again, back to the keeper. Now they rely on the keeper's distribution, and again, third time now, he's struggled with that distribution. So it's a tactic that the Battery have obviously watched them play, and it's a feature. It's going to be a feature of this game.
The Battery have the possession back because of the free kick, goal kick that didn't stay in bounds. And again, spray it around the back line before finding that passage through. Hackshaw. Small one back to Van Schaik. Higashi dropping into the back line, out wide to Thomas.
I'm sure Higashi needs to be a lot further up the field, but again, it shows you the fluidity of the team, doesn't it? Where people can drop in and their rotation, and Higashi goes back and gets on the ball and gives the other midfield players time to get forward.
Dos Santos retrieves out to Edwards. Edwards taking space, it's Holworth. Nicely worked from the visitors. Across in the middle, it's Portia. Comes back to Falvey, a familiar face here at the Charleston Battery. After spending about a 5-year stretch here, captain the side to the USL Championship in 2012, nicknamed the Charleston Rock, and I'm sure a few fans will be happy to see him back here tonight for the opposing side. Hackshaw takes quickly, working it out. Anunga to Hackshaw, switching the field.
That's great play by the Battery, isn't it? From a very tight situation where they're under pressure and just switched it from all the way through the other side.
Looking for a Tulaguerra, might just be a bit too much pace on that one.
Yeah, that was very promising for the home team there, wasn't it? They've gone from one corner of the field directly to the opposite corner, and just with a stray pass, just lost their momentum. But good signs, good early signs.
Well, let's see where Crapo puts this one. It's a lofted ball forward. Thomas picks it out the air. Van Schaik joins in the attack but leaves Holworth on. Safety in numbers from the Battery. Higashi, pressure from Edwards. Knocked off the ball. Oliveira's there. Nicely worked by Oliveira there.
I'm sure Coach Anhauser doesn't want Higashi playing in his final third. He'd like to see him a lot further up the field. A couple of times now he's dropped in there. He's way more effective higher up the field, and sometimes I think they just get in the way of the two holding midfield players, Anunga and Candela.
It's Edwards to take. Good turn by Holworth. It's going to be a good matchup, Holworth and Van Schaik tonight, those two veterans. Holworth in fantastic form, his 5th season with Ottawa, like we said, the longest serving player. And I think he is tied Tommy Heineman, 14 goals of all-time leading goal scorer for Ottawa Fury after his goal against Atlanta United too, and an assist. And you can't ask for much more than that in a game.
No, for sure.
Joe Kuzminski. Edward wins. It's Van Schaik for the black and yellow. There's time on the back line. Out wide to Thomas.
They show good patience, Battery. They really don't force it. If they don't think it's on, they're quite happy to pass it round the back. Be very patient. Again, Guerra, we'd like to see him further up the field.
Noah Tulaguerra likes to drop into the midfield to help build the attack. Sometimes doesn't always give them an option up front when he does so, but such a big work rate.
Yeah, no, that's a feature of their performances recently, isn't it? How they... Yeah, so we've mentioned that in previous broadcasts, the work rate of the strikers of the Battery.
This could be a chance for Holworth. Is one-on-one with Hackshaw and Kuzminski. And Mr. Broadley said that was too much. A free kick for Kuzminski.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of indecision there. We get to see that again. There was a little bit of indecision between, I think it was Hackshaw and Kuzminski, and you know, strikers always like to complain when they don't get what they want. So
shows what he's capable of, almost one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, yeah. Howarth, I think it was there, was very upset with the ref, and again, I think he has a reason. He was just running after chasing a lost cause. And the referee decided to give the free kick.
Edward retrieves in the middle of the park. Out wide to Portillo. It's Falvey.
Again, the Battery do a great job of forcing teams back. Here we go.
Just dispossessed. It's Higashi looking for Wild. A good block by Falvey. Redeems himself for the loose pass. Dixon. Portilla.
Here we go again. The keeper's played it forward.
You can see the strength of Dos Santos on Vincenzo Candela. Rittmeyer. And again, brought down.
On several occasions now, the Battery has really put them under pressure. The goalkeepers had to hit a long ball. And for a lot of young players out there who are thinking about being goalkeepers now, it's so important now that they're good with their feet, their distribution. You know, I think the days are gone now where a goalkeeper is just good with their hands and make saves. Now they've got to they've got to be the 11th outfield player, if you like. And
this could be a chance for the Battery. It's Gordon Wild into the box. Recycled by Candela. Taylor Mueller is up in the attack, as is Skylar Thomas. Just Hackshaw left back to defend. Anunga lays one off of Van Schaik. It's to the back post. And heads away by Dos Santos. Guerra chips one over to Wild. Can Wild keep it in? Yes, he can. And again into the box. It's Thomas this time. Couldn't get enough behind it, but quite the build-up.
Yeah, great ball in by Gordon Wild with his left foot. When he was going away from goal, he whipped it in with pace. And I think Skylar Thomas was a bit unfortunate there. I said he got his head to it and he took a late hit. So,
well, we know Mike Anhauser likes to get the centre-backs up into the attack, but as does Nikola Popovic. And before the last two games, it was only the defenders and midfielders that have scored for Ottawa so far this season. Of course, that all changed in the last two games as they picked up 2 wins.
I'm sure there was some fun in that dressing room with all the defenders scoring goals.
Dixon. Cleared by Edward to Dos Santos. Can Oliveira get there? Takes the strike. Wide of the target.
I think for a split second there, he thought Kuzminski would have been off his line and looked to hit it early, but he didn't hit the target at all, so it didn't trouble him in any way.
Hackshaw inviting Kuzminski forward to join in the possession.
Ottawa are quite happy for the Battery to play it round the back, but if you look up the other end, the Battery put them under a lot of pressure. You know, Kuzminski's only hit it a couple of times, and, you know, forward he's happy to play to his back 3, whereas down the other end, Crepo is trying to hit it long all the time, and his delivery right now hasn't been the best, so feature of the game so far.
It's a good spot. Taylor Mueller bringing the black and yellow forward. Rittmeyer trying to flick on. It's going to be a throw in for Obasi. Obasi joined Ottawa Fury in 2016 and scored a goal in Fury's first ever USL game. That's got to be one to remember.
Oh, I'm sure he'll remember that for the rest of his career.
Falvey looking forward to Howarth. It's Howarth and Hackshaw. Hackshaw comes out on top with the great clearance. And now the attack is on at the other end. It's Higashi taking on Edward. And that might be the first card that we see of this game. It's Eddie Edward in the book in the 28th.
he can't have any complaints there, can he? I mean, you know, the professional foul has been outlawed now. I'm sure we'll get to see that again. And he just, you know, he was beaten with out-and-out beaten with skill. Here goes, it drops the shoulder. Higashi, look, boom, and then he just drags in both hands. He can't have any complaints. It amazes me how defenders think they can get away with that and you know, not get a yellow card.
Kotaro Higashi really does use his height to his advantage there. Very nippy player. This is going to be Jared Van Schaik with an outswinger. Keep your eye on Skylar Thomas and Taylor Mueller at the back post. You can hear the Battery fans here at MUSC Hull Stadium getting behind them. It's a good ball into the back post. Head away by Falvey. Higashi's there with the pressure. Wins it back and again is pulled. Another free kick for the black and yellow. This time,
I mean,
are we going to see a card?
Yeah, there is no difference between that one and the first one. 2 harms around the body. I mean, let's see if the referee keeps his consistency there. I mean, no one wants to see players getting booked. But again, if you look at it here, look, it's the same thing again. He's away. He's put both hands round him. But the fact he let go once, he'd spotted it. To me, I think that's a yellow card again.
Well, Oliveira gets away with one there, and this time it's going to be Vincenzo Candela with the in-swinger over the dead ball.
Vincenzo's delivery last couple of games has been a little bit sketchy. Let's hope he's spent a bit of time on the practice ground, because this is a great position. If you can put it into the right area with the size, this is a very dangerous situation.
Atula Guerra heading towards the penalty spot. Keep your eye on him on the follow-up. Ottawa, everybody back behind the ball. Goes short, it's one from the training ground. Anunga out to the back post, it's Wild. Can Wild get the cross in? Nicely blocked by Ottawa, nothing to come of it. And Hackshaw recycles. Higashi. No worries there for the Ottawa back line, and now this could be a chance for Ottawa to attack. It's Portilla. Put Dixon in a bit of bother there. No damage done as he gets the ball back.
It's always a danger when you take them short free kicks and you don't put the ball in the box with your big defenders up there, that the other team does get a chance to break on you. You know, you don't want to see it happening, but sometimes you can fall foul to that. You put them up there, they expect the ball in the box, you overplay, and then you're under pressure.
Portilla, the anchor in the middle of the park.
There we go again. Another good pressure on the goalkeeper yet again.
Howarth breaking away with this one. This time it's Oliveira. Through ball. Thomas does just enough to get the clearance.
That was promising from the visitors, wasn't it? Great run. Just straight offside, I think, just at the last minute. For the first time, you know, someone running at the Battery's back three. It caused them a little bit of problem. Good little diagonal run. And end up running into an offside position. It's still a worry.
Adonia Reed just knocking on the Battery back line there. Thomas. The black and yellow enjoy the possession at the back. Just really slowing down the pace of the game.
Yeah, I think that's a big feature of this system that they have. They can slow it down and speed it up as they need to. And I think it's caused other teams a lot of problems. They've had a lot of possession around their back four. They don't mind hitting long diagonal balls. They don't mind hitting long straight passes when they need to, and using the mobility of the players up front. So I think it's a tactic that's worked for them, and they're going to continue to do it as long as they're getting success.
Dos Santos wins that one in the middle. Oliveira looks for the flick, but it's out wide to O'Doninger. Just too much pace on that one for Harworth.
Again, look how much possession that the Battery back three are allowed. But every time Falvey gets it, the goalkeeper gets it, you know, they're under pressure all the time. And you know, it's definitely forced a lot of turnovers for the Battery this half.
The Battery line of confrontation is much higher than the space that Ottawa are allowing the back line to play with. Van Schaik, just a loose pass. Dos Santos leads Oliveira on. Out wide to Adonija. At the top of the box. 50-50 with Candela there. Heavy touch forced by Wild and given in the favour of the black and yellow.
Yeah, the referee's going to card him again. That's a late challenge. That is, I mean, the referee's got it right again. It's a late challenge. You know, his momentum's took him through. We'll get a chance to see that again because that's one of the ones that hurts. That's one of the ones that players don't like. I think the referee's going to have a stern word there.
Oliveira in the book.
So here we go again. Look, so if you look now, it's his follow through here. Look, he stood right on his foot, and that's a sore one. You know, I'm one of these ones, Poppy, that complains about these new plastic boots that they all wear. Back in the day, I'm not sure that one would have hurt, but these new boots, they definitely are sore ones.
Well, it is a slick surface out here, and like you said, with those new boots, sometimes not only are they thin, they don't have the best grip on them. We haven't seen too many slip and slides tonight as the rain is holding off here at Daniel Island. Hopefully remains to stay away for the rest of the match. Hackshaw.
Yeah, the playing conditions are perfect tonight. No wind, nice temperature, great surface. You know, it's you know, if you're a player now, these are what you'd want to be playing. We had the women's game earlier where we had lots of young girls. It's nice to see another, you know, lots of young boys now in the stadium watching this game. And again, you know, perfect conditions, you know, it's a good game. And part of the new youth structure that's been put in place here in Charleston is now these kids get a chance to come and watch, not for entertainment value, but for education value. So that's going to be a real feature of the youth setup here in Charleston.
It was fantastic to see the youth girls walk out the Charleston Fleet, the women's premier team here in Charleston. Like you said, so many young faces here enjoying both matches that we've had at MUSC Health Stadium this evening. Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you for joining us wherever you are tonight. 0-0 here at MUSC Health Stadium in the 35th. Rittmeyer finds Anunga. Good coverage from Ottawa. Fans, let me remind you that Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For all the latest Select products, go to www.selectsportsamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. Crapo under no rush to get us back underway, just giving his team time to get up and get shape, looking for the target man, Dos Santos. Donija Reed with the pressure, doing just enough to win the throw. Albassi on the far side to take it. Now you can see Harworth just having a word with the referee in the middle of the park there. Can't imagine he's got too much to complain about in the first half so far. Dos Santos.
I think now that the captains are encouraged to talk to the referees, aren't they? You know, rather than all the players getting on at the refs and stuff. And they have to be careful now. Referees are only human. They only take too much. Right now, I don't think the referee's got too much wrong so far in the game.
Completely agree. Falvey goes home to Crapo.
Here we go again.
Higashi with the press this time.
Here you go again.
And Rittmeyer picks up the loose ball from the goal kick.
And it's a great tactic that the home team have done. They've done their homework. You know, they're forcing it back to the goalkeeper. They're making him be the playmaker. And they've done very well, as opposed to the other side where, you know, not much pressure's been put on these back three in open play.
Fans, you can get a player's perspective of all the action around the league every Wednesday as Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blake Down on the USL YouTube channel. Oliveira drops back to Dixon, invites Abassi forward into the attack.
Here we go again. See, great pressure from the home team. You know, they're making them work for every pass. The goalkeeper's got to go long again, straight into another battery player.
Thomas been consistent, picking those out the air. Anunga.
There's another late foul. Yep, great refereeing again. Great refereeing.
And another one on Kotaro Higashi. Has taken a few hits here this evening. Well, if you're Mike Anhauser at halftime, you've got to be pleased with this performance, Derek.
Yeah, no, they've played very, very well. Not many goal mouth chances, and that's the only disappointing thing. But the big feature of the game for me right now is the work rate of the front players for the battery. They're really putting people under pressure, causing the away team to go back to their goalkeeper consistently, and his distribution has not been the greatest so far. So hopefully they can capitalise on that.
Edward joining the attack. It's Dixon in the centre of the park, out wide to Abassi. Portilla. Ottawa have had a long way to travel. I'm sure different weather conditions to what they're used to playing in. And to say where they are in the league, although they're coming in with 2 wins, they're going to be pleased heading in scoreless at the half if it's to remain the same. Candela now. He's got Rittmeyer, intercepted by Wild. Ottawa clear wide.
Yeah, again, the battery win the ball back in midfield. Again, they passed their way out of trouble. You know, they look like a team that's full of confidence, aren't they? Pushing the ball around. And they should be at home. You know, the results they've had, you know, wins, goals, create confidence.
Solid ball out to Rittmeyer. Picked by Abassi, but wins the throw. And that's that switch we were talking about earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah, they've
absolutely solid.
Yeah, they do it very frequently, and they're very good at it.
Wild leaves one off to Rittmeyer. It's over at the back post. Can Atula Guerra keep it in? Just too much spin on that one.
If there's one worrying factor in this game so far, for the amount of ball that the battery have had, they haven't really created too many goal scoring opportunities. You know, they've had they put lots of pressure on, but not turned it into shots on goals as yet.
Hackshaw puts one back into the mix. It's tough on Higashi again. Shielded out by Dos Santos. Big ball over the top to Adonja Reed. Reed with numbers up top. Looks for Howarth. Back to Reed in the box. Mueller's there with the press. Forcing him out wide. Tries to take on Mueller, and Edward joins the attack. Back to Dixon. Portilla switching the play to Abassi. And this is a nice spell for Ottawa Fury.
Yeah, they've passed it. They've had it in good areas. They've had the ball a long time, but they're still back in their own final third. Now they come again.
Both teams patient in the build-up. Portilla.
This formation the battery have, they're very, very hard to break down. They've got plenty of numbers behind the ball.
And here's Harworth that's going to give it a chance. He's being forced out by Anunga. Edward feeds him back. Looking for the quick throw. Hasn't got the numbers on. And forced back. That could be a loose path. Safety first from Falvey.
Actually turned it into a great pass.
Portilla to Mayer Jagir.
Here they go again. Keeper's having to kick it again. It's better.
Dos Santos. With Abassi. Ottawa knocking at the door to get forward, but the Battery in a solid defensive shape, forcing them back. And that's a loose pass to Gordon Wild. Portilla does just enough there. They are three players that you do not want to be numbered up against.
Yeah, again, I think Gordon Wild just took the wrong option there. I think if he'd have tried to run with the ball there and took the player on, I think the player was actually on the floor when he actually hit it.
Switch to Holworth. Holworth could be in on goal. Nicely covered by Taylor Mueller, and Kuzminski quick off his line.
Harworth is definitely the bright spark, isn't he? The captain. He's got good pace. He's a powerful runner. You know, he's up against someone equally as quick in Neville Hackshaw, but he's definitely someone that I think they're going to have to keep their eye on. He's getting a little bit frustrated with his team, but he's doing a lot of work. But he's the one I think that can unlock the door if they need to. The Battery definitely have to keep an eye on.
Thomas, long ball forward. Atula Guerra's there. And Crapo, no worries for him, as he takes the opportunity to give his team time to get forward and just wind down that clock a bit.
In recent games, this just before half-time, time of the game has been where the Batteries has always done well and scored goals. So
here is Holworth. Hasn't got numbers up, outnumbered at the back by the Battery. It's Hackshaw. Finds Higashi, solid challenge from Falvey at the back. Fans, let me remind you that you can keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league, as Kelsey still hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram feeds.
So both coaches now will be getting they're gathering their thoughts. Goals before halftime always change that whole thing, but right now you'd like to think that Coach Anhauser will be very pleased with how his team's done. I think he'd like a few more goal scoring opportunities. The visitors, they'll be pleased with the scoreline. I think they think there's more to come from them in terms of attacking prowess and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how we go into half-time and certainly how the teams come out for the second half.
And if you are Nikola Popovic, what is your message to Ottawa at the half, Derek?
Well, definitely more of the same. You know, they're very resolute in their defending. I think they'd like to see play higher up the field. And if that can be achieved, then, and certainly, again, trying to create a little bit more. Here's Howarth again getting in with the referee. You see him walking in.
And it's another sturdy challenge on Kotaro Higashi. Too much. But it's going to be Higashi to get the yellow card. It was Dos Santos and Higashi in trouble. Mike Anhauser off the side of his bench, furious with that decision.
Yeah.
It'd be good to get another look at that one.
Yeah, here he comes. Yeah, I think there's a coming together. I'm not sure why the referees give that one, because it was a little bit of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So, yeah.
And the referee has said that is enough from the first half. It's scoreless here at MUSC Health Stadium. The Charleston Battery and Ottawa Fury head into the locker room 0-0. And Derek, we mentioned what Nikola Popovic has to say to his team, but if you're Mike Anhauser, what's the message?
Yeah, I think more of the same. Probably need to be a little bit more creative in the final third. See if we get test their goalkeeper a little bit more and see how we go.
Well, we are going to take a quick break. We'll have some halftime content coming your way shortly. Stay with us. The Charleston Battery welcomed Tormenta FC to MUSC Health Stadium for their first Open Cup match on Wednesday night. And the first real chance in the game was Victor Mansoret for Patrick Okonkwo at the back post, who found the clear path home past Jara. It was his first professional goal, and what a game it was to get it in, as it was the goal that separated the two sides. And what a finish it was, Derek.
Yeah, what it was, a great cross by Victor Mansoret to the far post, a textbook's cross. He's got the ball in, controlled it, in swinging cross. Great textbook header headed down into the corner, giving the goalkeeper no chance. I'm sure he'll be very, very pleased to get that goal, and what a great goal it was.
The Atlanta United lone E will relish the minutes he got in this Open Cup action, but the action was far from over. Marco Micheletto tried to curl one past a Disnall Cooper, going just wide of the post, and it was back and forth in the second half. Here's another chance for the black and yellow, and Tormenta returning, getting just as many chances. You can see Nico Rittmeyer there just trying to chip Jara, and the action wasn't over. Nico Rittmeyer got his second yellow card of the game. The Battery went down to just 10 men in the second half as Tormenta tried to capitalise on the man advantage. And then here you can see Nil Vignoles with a late challenge on Kotaro Higashi, found himself heading to the locker room a couple of minutes early as the Battery advance onto the third round, where they'll host Elm City Express on Wednesday, May 23rd, and another home game.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches will be very pleased to get another home game at this late stage. Sometimes it's not all about performances, it's just about getting the result.
A couple of moves inside the area.
Girls it in. Oh, what a strike from the captain! The rim is in! Jesus Enriquez!
Drogba blast! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba!
Stutter step, Cavaluzzo!
Saved by Mizell!
Into the penalty area for three, Frater! And a fantastic save produced by Matt Van Oekel.
Incredible save.
Kelly from distance! And Mizell, excellent work.
And it's a good ball to the back post. Gordon Wiles there, and what a strike from the German.
Zubak has a break on goal. He's looking to put the Galaxy on top 1-0, and he does. Ethan Zubak.
Looking to cross, does, low cross, punched away.
Takes a shot. Now battle of the box, shot it in!
Kelly! Dave Kelly!
Side last, on the knock it back with the header. Score!
Cross into the middle for Williamson.
Battery got their first US Open Cup win on Wednesday night against Tormenta FC 1-0. It was Patrick Okonkwo that separated the two sides with his first professional goal. The Battery now turn their attention to Saturday night, where they'll take on Ottawa Fury FC at MUSC Health Stadium and look for their fifth consecutive USL win. For the Charleston Battery, I'm Poppy Miller. Let's take a look around the league. FC Cincinnati sit at the top of the Eastern Conference, tied on points with the Battery, but edged the top spot after winning the head-to-head in the first game of the season at MUSC Health Stadium. However, their form was halted on Saturday, losing their first game since April 15th, 4-1 to Charlotte Independence. Pittsburgh Riverhounds remain the only team to be undefeated in the Eastern Conference with 4 wins and 4 draws, sitting comfortably in 4th place. Despite having several chances on goal, they tied 0-0 with Indy 11 on Friday, each taking a point. Ottawa Fury FC come into this weekend's matchup in 15th place in the Eastern Conference. However, they come in with 2 consecutive wins and will look to keep the momentum going after they beat Atlanta United 2 on Saturday. It was Steven Dos Santos who opened the scoring in the 26th minute, and Carl Harworth curled one into the top corner from a free kick in the 35th minute to seal the game. Well, that just about wraps up week 9 for us. For the Charleston Battery, I'm Poppy Miller. Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. It's halftime here between the Battery and Ottawa Fury. But while we have a second, let's take a look at what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. As we mentioned, the Battery got their first Open Cup win against Tormenta FC on Wednesday night. Patrick Okonkwo was the difference, and up next they'll face Elm City Express on Wednesday, May 23rd at 7 o'clock. It'll be dollar beers again, and tickets starting at just $7. But again, Derek, 3 games in 7 days, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it is at this stage of the season. The games come thick and fast. I'm sure the Battery coaching staff will be very wary of that. You know, they've been rotating players consistently now in these cup competitions, and I think that's something they'll continue to do until the bigger clubs come into the program. I think it's great for the players who are not currently playing because it gives them a chance to play in competitive soccer and to try and force their way back into the team.
Mike Anhauser just started 4 of the players that he started in Saturday's match, and they still got the result, and it's got to help being at home.
Yeah, playing at home means that players can stay in their routines, you know, their travel, their eating habits, everything like that. So, you know, the last thing you want to be doing midweek is travelling great distances to play these games. So, yeah, for players, it really is a benefit to be playing many games at home.
And if they beat Elm City Express, let's take a look at who they could face in the 4th round, because that's when the MLS teams come into the tournament. In the past, they played Atlanta United, Orlando City SC and San Jose Earthquakes. It would be great to have a rematch against Atlanta United.
Yeah, I haven't recently played them in February. You know, it was a great encounter there. But I think at this stage of the tournament, you know, you'll take any of the MLS clubs. Players at this level love to pit themselves against some of the top players in the country. So I'm sure it really won't matter which team comes out the hat. They'll all be looking up and up for the challenge.
And then back to USL action. They'll conclude the homestand at MUSC Health Stadium on May 26th against Nashville SC. The first ever meeting between the two sides. It's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, this is another one of those situations where you play a team for the first time. You're not really sure what they're going to get. Nashville seem to have really taken to coming into this league now. They've got some very good young players, had some very good results. So to come in and play them at the first time, I think it's always good when you do this at home. So, yeah, I think everyone will be looking forward to it.
Nashville SC sitting 8th in the Eastern Conference as it stands, but of course it can change a lot leading up to this game. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have second half action from MUSC Health Stadium up next. Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium here in Charleston, South Carolina. Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are tonight. Well, it's 0-0 at the half. While we have a second, let's take a look at some first half highlights.
So yeah, the game's really been starved up. There's been a lot of bitty fouls and not many real clear-cut chances, as you'll see from the highlights. There's some good balls been put into the box, but I don't think any real goalkeepers had to make a real clear-cut save right now, and hopefully that'll improve in the second half. As I said, there's some great bits of individual skill, some little niggly fouls, and what the game really needs, Poppy, is a couple of real clear-cut chances and some goalkeeper saves. That would be really good about it.
And there's one of the fouls that we were talking about. To say how many stoppage we've had, there's been a lot of fluidity in the game, but no goals, like you said. Both teams just struggling with that last ball. The Battery, you've got to say, with most of the chances in the first half, but let's have a look at some first half stats.
Yeah, if you see, look, the one that's really glaring there is shots. You know, there's been 3 shots between the two teams. Shots on goal, 0. Possession obviously very heavily weighted to the Battery. Lots of fouls, 17 fouls in the game and only 1 corner. So the stats are quite a true reflection of the first half. Battery having most of the possession, but no real cut chances.
And the Battery, of course, coming in with a fantastic form, unbeaten in 6 games and looking for their 5th win. Ottawa Fury, though, got their 2 wins of the season back-to-back in the last 2 games. They're picking up the momentum. What do you think the message at the half was to the away side, Derek?
The away team, probably more of the same. They'll be happy not conceding. They're coming off some clean sheets in their previous games. I think they'd like to have a little bit more offensively and get further up the field a little bit. I think sometimes they've been very deep. So, yeah, the message will be more of the same. I'm sure Ottawa would be very happy coming here and keeping their clean sheet and keeping their run going.
Well, Crapo in goal for Ottawa, looks for his 4th clean sheet tonight, as does Joe Kuzminski. But we mentioned those fouls, so a lot of players going to have to play this second half with caution. Yep,
it's always a tight line, isn't it, when you've had a yellow card for those players that get them, and especially the midfield players and the competitive players on the field. So yeah, they will, and I think coaches also have to be aware of that when as the deeper the game goes on, because you don't want to end up with 10 players. So here we go.
Kevin Broadley has us back underway here at MUSC Health Stadium. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match. It's 0-0. Start of the second half. It's captain Taylor Mueller. Out wide to Thomas. Looking for the Atlanta United loanee, Gordon Wild. We mentioned Carl Harworth. Just done a lot of work tonight. Ottawa will bring that one out the back. It's Dixon.
Yeah, Harworth has been their shining light, in my opinion. He's done really, really well. He's got a lot of energy. He's a very powerful runner. He's one I think that the Battery definitely need to keep an eye on. And for the home team, really, a feature of the game, I suppose, from the first half is that the 2 central midfield players have probably been their most effective, Anunga and Candela. The way they've kept their shape. And then the back players, throughout the season have been, very composed in possession, and hopefully that will continue, but also very good in 1v1 situations.
The Battery have found this fantastic form of success when they switched to the 3-man back line. After a loss to New York Red Bulls 2 on the road. They haven't lost since and only conceded 2 goals at home this season, only one of them in the regular run of play, and that was from the very first game of the season. So quite the run at home. Yeah.
And I think Mike Anhauser will want a bit more from Guerra up front. He has been their game winner the last few games, and in the first half it's probably, for his standards, quite a quiet half, and I'm sure there's more to come from him.
He's opened the scoring in the last 3 games for the Battery. I'm sure the Battery fans will be getting behind him tonight. But for Ottawa, though, Carl Harworth, like we mentioned, the one to watch, got a goal and assist against Atlanta United too. But that's what you were talking about in the first half, Derek. Crapo just struggling to distribute the ball, keeping it in bounds.
Yeah, as I said, the more the Battery, that must spur them on when the goalkeeper's, their playmaker, and he's knocking the ball out and giving away possession cheaply.
Cleared away by Edwards. And now this could be a chance for Ottawa. It's going to be a free kick at the half line. The referee just having a word with Skylar Thomas there. It's going to be another booking. Skylar Thomas, yellow card in the 48th minute. Another one that's going to have to play with caution.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure that's a yellow card again. I mean, you don't want to criticise referees, but, you know, he set the tone this early in the second half. Let's have a look at it again. It looks like two big players jump in. You know, Skylar Thomas just got over the top of him. Yeah, you know, it's a foul, and I think that's what's gone wrong in the game now. It can be a foul. It doesn't have to be a yellow card.
6'5" and 6'6" going up against each other. Both are very good in the air. Higashi with the press. Harworth knocks one back to Dixon. Hataro just taken to ground, but this could be a chance. It's Atula trying to get past Edward in the box, and safety first from Eddie Edward. That's going to bring up the first corner of the second half.
Yeah, that's more promising from Guerra, isn't it? That's definitely more promising. He's definitely, that was one he could chase, and I'm sure once he gets more involved in the play, you know, he'll start to come to life. So here's Gordon Wild now with the corner. It's going to be an outswinger. All the big guys are up from the back.
Yes, keep your eye on Skylar Thomas and Taylor Mueller as it's into the penalty spot. Leaves it for Candela. Cantella looking to whip one back in. The referee is going to give a penalty on that one for touching the arm of Adonja Reed.
Yeah, his hands are in an unnatural situation. Again, credit to Candela there. He could have just whipped it in first time. He took a touch. There we go. He took his touch. He looked up. There it is. Yeah, hands are definitely in an unnatural situation. That's a clear penalty. You know, there can't be any complaints about that.
So it's Reed to give away the penalty. We just mentioned Atula Guerra's opened the scoring in the last 3 games. The leading goal scorer for the Battery with 5 on the season so far. Last match when we saw him score, he used the corner flag as a guitar. Let's see if he can put one in the back of the net this time.
Referee's asking him to put it on the spot. He's not happy with that. So he'll just have to recompose himself, get his focus. He's a good player. He knows about this.
Will Atula Guerra make it 6? Saved by Crapo. The follow-up from Rip Myers there. And no, he won't. Still 0-0 in the 51st minute. Crapo denying Atula Guerra the penalty.
Yeah, again, it's not his best penalty, and again, it's been followed up.
Here comes the corner into the box, headed away by Dos Santos. And that was almost into the back of the net from Neville Hackshaw with the follow-up just over the bar.
Yeah, that was there, but that was great play by Taylor Mueller there. You know, the ball was going back, he's headed it back into the box, and Neville Hackshaw's rose above everyone else to get it back on, so I'm sure we'll get to see that again. Good delivery in. As I said, Taylor Mueller's done fantastic. Let's have a look.
Let's see if we can have a look at that one. An exciting moment for the Battery.
Here it comes, yeah. So here it is. There's that Mueller puts it back into the danger zone. Neville Hackshaw moving backwards, puts it in. Unlucky there. And that's the second penalty tonight at that end, Poppy, that we've seen missed tonight. You know, one in the girls' game and one in the senior men's game. So
the Charleston Fleet Women's Premier Team had a chance to get back on the score sheet in that exact goal earlier on this evening, but denied by a similar penalty to that one.
Yeah, and there was a follow-up in the first one as well, yeah.
Deja vu at his finest. It's Anunga battling in the middle of the park. Rip Meyer, he's got Wild behind him. Fancy footwork from the German. Now a chance for Oliveira. Portia switches the play across the field. Dixon. The Battery forcing Ottawa back. Obasi bringing them forward. Wild's there with the press. Looking for his options. Reed. Back to Reed at the top of the box. And that is going to be a free kick. Candela just took it off the foot of Reed. The referee said that was too much. And now a chance for Ottawa at the top of the box.
And sometimes in big games, you know, a penalty miss can inspire a team and can dampen the enthusiasm of another team. And that, you know, since that penalty miss, you know, Ottawa have been further up the field, and now they've got a great chance in a great position now to put the Battery under pressure. Here we go. He was going away from goal. Yeah, a bit of a stray arm. Again, not too much in it, but the referee, from where he was, he saw it. He was very close, and he's given the free kick.
Well, it's Hallworth lining up behind it. He got a fantastic goal against Atlanta United too, as well as the assist. And we can expect it's going to be him to take it. The in-swinging Joe Kuzminski on the line. The Battery have everybody back behind the ball. It's Hallworth into the top corner. It looked like it was going into the top corner from our point of view, Derek, just wide of the post there.
Yeah, I mean, again, you'll give that a good effort. You know, a 7 or 8 out of 10. You really want the goalkeeper making saves. Here we go. You get a great angle here. Wasn't too far away. Again, though, I still think, you know, from that range, you've got to make goalkeepers make saves. I always tell young players, you know, you either get an ooh or an R, and you know, an ooh is when the goalie saves it, and an R is when it just goes past. So
just wide of the post at that time, but probably the best chance that Ottawa have had so far in this matchup. Kuzminski.
Yeah. And that missed penalty, you know, psychologically, what's it going to do to the Battery? Hopefully they can just dust it down. I'm sure Guerra will want to make amends for that now, so that should spur him on.
Anunga in the battle, comes out on top, leaving it for Rittmeyer. Clever work by the Savannah native. Skylar Thomas gets us back underway, looking for Tula Guerra. Swamped with defenders, and Dos Santos brings Ottawa out.
There's a little bit of urge there by the captain there to move that ball wide, keep it moving nice and quickly. So yeah, the Battery have done that really well. They move it from side to side, really stretch teams, get teams shuffling across.
And
oh, there's a loose one.
You can just see how wide the back three separate, how much confidence they've got when they're spraying it around the field. That one just
a loose pass, wasn't it?
The pressure is on though. It's Wild through to Guerra. Stopped in his tracks. Candela to recycle. Van Schaik again on the far side.
Yeah, I think he got hurt on that last one, and he looks a little bit sluggish there.
Higashi just trying to work his way through the back line. Unsuccessful.
Yeah, Van Schaik, he's definitely struggling. He's just walking around right now. Hopefully he can just run it off. I think it was just a sore one to the gut.
Never feels nice when you're winded. But the attack is still on. Gordon Wild keeps it in bounds. Unlucky there. And that one is going to roll out for a goal kick. Fans, let me remind you that you can head to Instagram to watch exclusive video content and photography from the USL. Make sure you follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer.
The next 5 or 10 minutes are going to be crucial in this game. You know, can the Battery pick their heads up, get back into the game, keep doing what they were doing the first time, and are the Fury going to, seize on that advantage and get a bit of momentum? Another poor clearance there by the goalkeeper.
Straight out of bounds, but now Wild is on through to Higashi. Higashi looking to be one-on-one. Great coverage at the back.
If we get to see that again, I think, again, we just took the wrong pass. If it had kept on going wide, see if we get a chance to see that one again in a minute.
Dos Santos just taking it off the foot of Higashi, but Thomas comes forward with the step. Into the back post, but no one's there. Van Schaik will chase. Can Van Schaik recycle it? He's found Guerra at the top of the box. It's a Tula Guerra just over the top of the crossbar.
That's when Guerra's at his best, in the edge of the box, back to goal. He's got, he can roll players and then get shots off very quickly. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with a shot, but here we go again. So this, if they can't quite see it there. I think if Gordon Wild would have kept on going out to his left, they'd have been in. And I'm sure we'll get a chance to see Guerra's effort in a minute as well.
Atula Guerra.
There he's there. Just rolled it in. Bit disappointed with the shot. There's the goalkeeper again.
Just with his hands on his hips at the top of the box. He will want that one back. Right now, Taylor Mueller is going to leave it for Skylar Thomas to get them back in the attack. Just giving chance for everybody to regain the shape. Dixon picks up the second ball, looking for Dos Santos. Hackshaw's back to cover, but Dos Santos is there and quick off his line from Kuzminski.
Kuzminski does a great job of commanding his box. Does his distribution's very good, very composed. You know, you can see why he's on a good run with clean sheets and not letting in too many goals. You know, he's very confident at the minute. A very assured goalkeeper who wasn't an automatic starter at the start of the season.
But he's got to have picked up a lot of confidence with 3 clean sheets in 4 USL starts.
Yeah, and he's got good players in front of him as well.
Here comes a chance for Kotaro Higashi. He drops one into the box for Wild, just over the top of the bar, heads away, but he saw Crapo off his line and took the chance.
Yeah, again, I think that just, if you look at the delivery there, was just behind him. I think he got in a little bit too early. The ball was out going behind it. He had to sort of almost stop his run, lean back a little bit and try and get his head over the ball. Another chance, though.
Crapo to get us back underway. Absolutely no pressure on him. Keeps it in bounds. Looking for Abassi. Ripmeyer with the challenge and comes through with the win. The Battery just looking to slow down the tempo of the game again, Derek.
Yeah. I think they're just regrouping. As I said, you know, sometimes big incidents in games have a big effect on players, and now they've settled back down. You know, the game's gone back to that similar sort of shape. You know, I'm sure Guerra now, he's got a lot more involved in the last 5 minutes. He wants to make up for that penalty miss, and he's a sort of character that will do it. And you know, and if he does, you know, he'll let the crowd know he's done it.
Sure, we can see one of his many goal celebrations if he is to find the back of the net. Right now, though, this could be a chance for Ottawa. On the breakaway, it's Reed looking forward to Holworth. One-on-one with Hackshaw. Cuts it inside of him. Can he get the shot off? He's looking for help. Back to Reed. And that one was waved away by the referee. A call for handball from the bench below me.
Yeah, I think any time the ball hits a player, you know, who's standing upright in the box, you know, people are going to do it. I mean, the referee was very close to that. I think we get to see it again. He was very close. He was in a great position.
Might get a chance to look at that one in just a second. Hackshaw dominating through the park. Good stop by Falvey. Sprays one out wide to Reed. Keeps it in bounds on this near side. He's waiting for numbers to get into the box. Drops it back to Oliveira. Dos Santos with the strike. It looks like it was just going wide of the target.
Yeah, it took a slight deflection there. The referee's given a corner, but again, they've come into it a little bit now. It's still a shot not on target. Let's have a look. Here's the penalty there. It's off the top of his shoulder. I've seen them given, but you know, the referee was in a very good position to see that. It was more his chest, up part of his chest, than his actual arm.
Kuzminski commanding his back line there. This is a chance for Ottawa on the far side. It's going to be an in-swinger. Keep your eye on the near post as they flood Kuzminski.
There's a lot of bodies in there right now.
A lot of bodies in a very tight area. As one drops to the back post, it's in towards Kuzminski, gets enough tip on it. Out for a throw-in. Good delivery.
Yeah, great delivery in, and well dealt with the goalkeeper. Give him some credit. So, yeah, give him some credit. He done well there. under a lot of pressure. There's the same thing again. Referee's going to get nice and close to this, see what's going on. This is obviously something they've worked on.
Good ball into the back post. Kuzminski fingertips away again. Yeah. And a third consecutive corner for Ottawa.
Yeah, this is something you can see they've worked on, isn't it? You know, they've put two good deliveries now, and the third one here again. What they're trying to do is flood the 6-yard box, get a little bit of confusion.
Ottawa knocking at the door. It's going to be the Spaniard to take it from the far side. A left-footed in-swinger comes from the San Francisco Deltas that won the championship last year, his first season with Ottawa, and has been crucial over the dead ball. It's an in-swinger into the near post, and that one came off the woodwork. It's Brian Anunga to bring it away, but there might be an injury at that back post. Jamar Dixon took a nasty knock.
I think what they're trying to do there, the away team, is they've put everyone on the front post and they're trying to whip one into the back post beyond the goalkeeper. And they had 2 goes at it, and on the third time, you know, they nearly go. I'd like to see that again. It's very hard to see how he actually missed it.
Portillo's fantastic delivery again.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on Dixon at the back post. Gets actually caught between the ball and the post. Very, very unlucky. Best chance of the game so far.
Oh, by far, by far. And as I said, it was coming, wasn't it? It was 2 good deliveries previous to that, and then the third one came in. So, yeah, definitely something they worked on, and something that if they get another corner that the home team will have to do a lot better at.
Well, Jamar Dixon looks to be up and okay, which is always good to see. The 28-year-old Ottawa native, his 3rd season with the Fury, the Canadian international.
It actually looked harder to miss it than it did to score it when it was there. So I've never seen a ball get trapped between a body and a post before. So
something I've never seen. Every game brings
it's another first.
New first for us. While we have a second, let me update you with some scores around the league. Charlotte beating Toronto 1-0. FC Cincinnati beating North Carolina FC 2-0. Louisville and Atlanta United 2-1-1. And Pittsburgh Riverhounds leading the Tampa Bay Rowdies 2-1. None of those scores final though. And we are still 0-0 here at MUSC Health Stadium. But now Gordon Wild with a good ball into the box. Heads away by Ottawa. The pressure's on from Anunga, looking to recycle. Dixon working it out the back. Hefty ball forward, flicks one on for Dos Santos.
Yeah, that's what I like to see Gordon Wild doing, getting the ball running at players. He's a good delivery, and you know, that's when I think he's at his best. Well defended though by Ottawa Fury.
Ottawa seem to have their tails up. Nikola Popovich, just on your screen there. Coached Swoop Park Rangers last season and led them to the USL Championship game before deciding to part ways mutually. And now here could be big trouble for Nico Rittmeyer. A yellow card for the College of Charleston product. Let's see if we can have another look at that one.
Yeah, again, I think it was his leg was high for sure, but let's have a look. The ball gets played in, it's up in the air. Yeah, his foot's gone in and stood on him, I think.
Dos Santos just having some medical attention. And Popovich just below us, having a chat with some of his players. Fans, let me remind you that you can see which teams are hitting peak performances in the USL. Find out every Monday afternoon when USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results.
I think that was more a case of where he got hit rather than how hard he got hit on that one. So
looks to be up and okay. And it's Portilla over the dead ball. We can expect another class delivery from him. The battery leaving Atula Guerra up, pulling everyone else back behind the ball. Let's keep our eye on the back post. Dos Santos and Taylor Mueller with Skylar Thomas there.
There's a big hole in there. Is it, I think.
The referee gets us back underway. It's right in towards Kuzminski. Mueller and Hackshaw with the track back. No real danger there, Derek.
No, that's a wasted one, that one, isn't it? As I said, you know, if you're one of these central defenders who's run all the way up there like Falvey, and he's gone all the way up there and he hasn't even had a chance to get his head on it. So, yeah. Set pieces, you know, the corners from Ottawa Fury have been excellent. The rest of the deliveries have been very average right now, up until now.
Hackshaw looking for the clearance, repossessed by Ottawa in the middle.
Ottawa Fury have definitely come out in the second half. They're a lot more in the game than they were in the first half. And right now, I think that you know, they're on top of the game. This is their little spell. And as I said, this is all stemmed since the big incident with the penalty where the goalkeeper made a good save and the Battery didn't have a follow-up. So
it's certainly given them some confidence. It's Portilla over the dead ball again in almost the identical position we were just in. And again towards the penalty spot, heads away by Van Schaik. Anunga there with the clearance. And Higashi to Guerra.
Again, Guerra's touch there is a little bit loose. It's not been his night so far. You know, the penalty miss and his touch is a little bit loose. You know, he's still working hard. Let's make no bones about it. He's working hard, but it's just not happening for him right now. And I think we're getting close to that point now where, you know, maybe one of the coaches will go to the bench and try and make something happen from the bench.
There is movement from both sides of the bench, but right now the attack is on for Ottawa. Through ball and Mueller collects.
Great play by Taylor Mueller there, doesn't he? Doesn't just win it, he actually feeds it out, makes a great pass.
Higashi again, the late challenge is on. Ottawa protesting, and Candela looks to get us back underway quickly. Kevin Broadley wants it brought back to the exact same spot it was given, and we're away. Well, there's movement from both sides. Wonder if we'll see any substitutions in the next couple of minutes. Thomas switches the field to Hackshaw. Long ball forward, looking for Guerra. Nicely dealt with by Ottawa. Now this could bring up a chance for them to get it out quickly. Portilla going home to Crapo. Nicely read by Neville Hackshaw as he wins the throw. Hackshaw just really shows his experience.
Yeah, he's a very talented player. I think you could almost play him in any position that you wanted.
Here could be a chance. Oh. It looks like it was a bit of a miscommunication error there. Gordon Wild with the pressure and Crapo coming out.
I think Crapo slipped. That was the problem, but Falvey nearly done his old team a real favour there, didn't he?
And Falvey was there. Let's have a look at this again.
Goalkeeper comes out, he slips. Look, Falvey was going to have it back. Goalkeeper slips and nearly gave his old team something to one of those gifts.
Well, here is the first substitution of the game. It's Gordon Wild making way for Victor Mansoret, the Sierra Leone native from FC Cincinnati, joins the Battery this year for his first season. A very speedy winger, Derek.
Yeah, it's almost a straight swap.
And here comes the ball from Van Schaik to the penalty spot, just over the bar from Thomas. We mentioned earlier to keep your eye on Skylar Thomas and Taylor Mueller, and that's exactly what they're capable of in the box with all that height.
Yeah, when a player's coming back away from the goal, he uses it's a great delivery, because what he's using is he's using the pace off the ball. So look, as he's running away, he uses the pace just to redirect it back towards the goal. That's very unlucky. If he could just get that down 6-7 inches, that would be a goal.
So we've seen the first substitution of the game. Victor Mansoret on for Gordon Wild. Mansoret with 1 goal so far this season. Mueller knocks one onto Rittmeyer. Big clearance. Just a loose touch. Manages to get back, but not enough. Now the attack is on from Ottawa. Into the box. Mueller collects. Sturdy from the captain, but that was a late challenge. The referee is going to give a free kick. Have a talking to. It's Dos Santos that's down. I think Mueller just lucky to get away with one there.
Yeah, well, Mueller's done great there, hasn't he? I mean, he's done really well. I mean, he's a fully committed player. I think it is a foul. It's a little bit late. The player's taking full advantage of it now. Here we go. So he's done a great bit of defending. His touch is a little bit loose. He comes through, and you can see there clearly he just catches the bottom of his foot. It's a foul. Again, I'm still not sure that's a yellow card. I think it's a genuine attempt for the ball. And I think one of the things now with one of the differences in the modern game now is that every time there's a foul, people are calling for yellow cards. And as I said, I think a mistimed challenge is not always got to be a yellow card.
And now this is going to bring up another chance for Ottawa. Portilla over the ball, the third one in just the space of about 15 minutes.
Yeah, and the delivery's been good. I mean, this is a real worry for the home team. It's a great position. And as I said, it's a different angle now. They've had a couple where they've tried to bend it into the far post. I'm sure they're going to be really pushing to try and get a shot on target.
Popovich there, head coach of Ottawa Fury. The Charleston Battery pulling every player back behind the ball. Ottawa sending Falvey forward from the back line.
This is one of them ones where you'll even accept it taking a deflection off a defender and going in. So the goalkeeper's got to go for the first opportunity, and then any deflection's definitely going to hurt him.
It's the Spaniard that's going to line up over it. The referee eyes on the box. Into the penalty spot. Joe Kosminski doing enough to get that one away. And Higashi is there to bring them up.
Joe Kosminski's done great there, I think. I mean, that ball moved in the air. He used both his hands. He knew he couldn't take it, gather it, and he's just thrown his arms at it just to get it out of danger and into a wide area, which is great goalkeeping.
Ottawa with their tails up now. In the 75th minute, still 0-0 here at MUSC Health Stadium. Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you for joining us tonight for tonight's match, wherever you are. Hackshaw heads away. Candela with the loose ball. Now a chance for Ottawa. It's Holworth looking to get the strike away. Nothing to come of it.
Yeah, a couple of loose touches there again. She's very uncharacteristically from Candela. His touch was a bit loose, fell back into the path. Again, Neville Hackshaw doesn't often get beat by too many people, does he? It was on the outside, good defending, good recovery, blocking the shot and forcing the player into a rush shot, which didn't really trouble Kosminski.
Well, with 15 minutes to go, you can't help but feel there is a goal knocking at the door. We just don't know which end it's going to come from.
And I think it looks like a one-goal game right now, Poppy. Whoever does get that goal.
And here's Kotaro Higashi building the attack for the Battery. Back to Hackshaw. It's end-to-end stuff here at MUSC Health Stadium. Rittmeyer looking to crack through.
Again, Nico Rittmeyer is very good in the final third when he's running at players. He's a big, powerful boy.
It's Higashi again, back to Anunga. Looking for Guerra in the box. Higashi's there. And now Ottawa with the breakaway. Dos Santos with the heavy touch. Just too much on that one.
Great position again by Taylor Mueller again. He's had a great game again. I mean, we've spoke about all the other defenders, and the one we haven't really given much credit to is Taylor Mueller, and he marshals that defence really, really well.
Started 9 of 9 games for this season for the Battery. Last season, played every minute of every USL game. Just such a consistent player for Mike Anhauser's squad. Here he is again. Finds Hackshaw. Hackshaw at the top of the box. Dispossessed, but Van Schaik will regain. Candela joins in, ball into Crapo, who punches away. And now that could have been a bit of trouble, nicely composed and does just enough to find Thomas. Dos Santos knocking on the door all the time on that last defender. And now again back at the other end, it's Higashi. Won it through with Guerra. Good footwork from Guerra there, just one too many touches. You can hear the fans below us very unhappy with that decision. It's going to bring up chance for Ottawa free kick and just a chance to slow down the game again, Derek.
Yeah, as I said, I think, Ottawa will be much the happier team with the draw tonight. It keeps their run going, away teams on the road, getting a point. Every game, don't you? You go in with a point, you start the game with a point, you either win 2 or you lose 1, and I think that's where they're likely to be.
Long ball forward from Crapo. Sturdy header by Thomas. Higashi holding off. And this looks like it's going to bring up an opportunity for a substitution for Ottawa. Coming off, it's going to be Steven Dos Santos. And you've got to say, he's created a lot of chances. Derek had a sturdy night. Yeah,
he's a big lad, isn't he? He's run his heart out and probably deserves his rest. Very positive substitution. I think it's one of them ones, they're doing well in the game. I think Taylor's a little bit more mobile, slightly smaller in physique, but a lot quicker. And I think they're coming on just to give him another little dimension in the last sort of 10 minutes of the game.
Tony Taylor, his first season with Ottawa, has appeared in 8 games so far this season, has some international experience for Panama. Let's see what those fresh legs can do up top. Mueller goes home to Kuzminski. Hackshaw to build from the back. Ottawa happy for them to have it in their own half. Mueller with the long ball forward, looking for Rittmeyer, just overcooked that one. But again, Ottawa just happy with them to hold it through the back line, and that line of confrontation comes when they come over the half.
Yeah, they've set their stall out at the back. As I said, for all the excitement we've had, we haven't had lots of goal mouth opportunities from either side. So
just sliced awkwardly from Rittmeyer.
And the game's still finding poise. If you notice, we haven't had too many substitutions. Both teams are quite happy with the way they're playing and the way the game's gone.
Taylor getting his first touches on the ball. Mansoret, the other substitution, looked like that was a bit of a collision. Victor Mansoret and Obasi.
Yeah, he was just a bit too quick for him now. I think he reacted quicker. His momentum took him through.
Now Candela invites Hackshaw forward. Long switching ball in. Not the best of clearances, but does just enough. And Mr. Broadley said that is worth a free kick. Portia on Atula Guerra.
This Mr. Broadley thought it was as well.
What did Mr. Broadley too think about it?
Yeah, no, I did. I thought it was a foul as well, yeah. It's in a dangerous position as well. Here we go again. Again, it's just one of them clumsy challenges that comes up, isn't it? I mean, Guerra gets his body in front. There we go. Wins the ball. And then guy just sticks his leg out. Boom. Yeah, it's a foul.
This time it's going to be Tar Brian Anunga to line up over the dead ball.
This is definitely within shooting range.
2 goals and an assist on the season so far. Crapo organising his backman, 4-man back line wall. Anunga hits the wall, recycles into the box. The referee is going to give that one in the favour of Ottawa.
Again, be interesting to see what I think. Is he stopped because the player's injured, or is he given the foul?
Be good to have another look at that one.
he certainly took the full front of the free kick. There must have been a couple of little bits of afters at the end. And now we get a free kick that should be in the box. It's now been taken from outside the box. Here we go, look, if there's anything in it. So there's a pull there in the box, and the free kick now is out the box.
We're back underway. Abassi and Higashi there. Skylar Thomas to get us back underway. Ottawa getting numbers into the attack. Loose touch from Higashi, just being bumped around in there. It's both a blessing and a curse to be just 5'6".
Yeah, no, definitely. I think now that where the game's going now, you know, any team that can get a goal now looks like they could win the game now. You know, since that penalty miss, it's always looked like it's going to be a one-goal game if we manage to get one.
And again from Abassi's second throw-in from the same spot. The Battery safety in numbers. Not too many options on for him. Rittmeyer on a yellow card already. He's going to have to be careful on the far side. The referee has given that one in favour of the Battery.
I think the referee's given a throw in there. That's the advantage of having a linesman looking down the line.
Thomas to get us back underway. Looking for Guerra, but outnumbered. Now this could be a chance to get forward. Mansoray showing his fresh legs. Just read well by Falvey, showing his veteran experience. And now a chance for Ottawa. They're at the top of the box. Rittmeyer comes across to Cullough, but the danger isn't over.
A little bit of panic there in the Battery defence.
Mansoray involved in the back line, helping clear it.
Yeah, the Battery, the only time they look really in trouble is when someone's running at that back three. And more so in central positions, that's the time. Oh.
Victor Mansoray switches the park to Rittmeyer. He's got Higashi and Guerra. It's a nice 1-2. Van Schaik's on the far side. Ottawa crowding the box. The referee waving play on, and now the counter-attack is on at the other end. Hallworth with options in the middle, but on his own on the far side, forced back.
Good defending there by the Battery players there. Vincenza certainly helping out there.
And no problem from Joe Kuzminski. Hackshaw carries the Battery out the back.
Yeah, Nungas gets on the ball now. Now it's a case of who wants to win it more, isn't it? And, you know, it's one of them situations where you want to win it, but you don't want to lose it. It's a great pass.
Lofty ball out to Van Schaik. Great control from the veteran. Finding Guerra. Can Guerra make the run into the box? Ottawa looking to keep him outside, but it's Candela at the top of the box, blocked by Ottawa. Recycling, again blocked. Obasi bringing the fury out. Hallworth in the foot race. Hackshaw's there. And again, just a bit too much pace. And now this is going to bring up the second substitutions for each side. First of all, we're going to see Reed make way for Jimmy Sannon. And Nico Rittmeyer makes way for the goal scorer from the Open Cup, the Atlanta United loanee, Patrick Okonkwo.
So yeah, we're going to go a little change of shape now. I think it's going to be two up front for the Battery. Victor Mansoray is going to come out right. Higashi Katuro is just going to drop into that number, what they call traditional number 10 role, and see if they can force something in this last few minutes.
It's Hackshaw on the far side. Long throw into Guerra. And now Ottawa regain the possession. Mueller's across with the cover. Not too many options on.
Not the greatest clearance there by Taylor.
In those situations, you just want to get it out of danger. And Van Schaik finds the target man Okonkwo up top. Higashi.
Mansray needs to get a lot higher up the field. Just needs to change the position, realise where he's going. He's a quick player.
Drops one back to Anunga. Anunga does just enough to get back.
He's had another good game, isn't he, Anunga? Him and Kandala in the midfield, they do a lot of work, a lot of unrecognised work. Guerra seems to have a spring in his step in these last few minutes. He's gone looking for the ball.
Just over a minute of regular time. It's Neville Hackshaw offside. But still end-to-end stuff in this late going.
Yeah, we've come to a real important time now. It's going to be how much time's on the watch from the referee. And is anyone brave enough to go and try and win this game? Goalkeepers.
The referee waving him to get on. Crapo just taking his space, dropping it in front of him. It's a big lofty clearance from the back. Heads on and the pressure's on. Hackshaw lets that one run out of play.
As I said, if you're Ottawa now, you know, you'll take the point and get on your bus and go home, or your flight. And if you're the Battery being at home, you just want one more chance just to see if you can get that goal.
And you have to give credit to Ottawa coming in to play technically first place in the Eastern Conference, and they've held in them to a 0-0 draw. This is going to bring up the last substitution for Ottawa. Out comes Oliveira, and in comes Mancio. Sorry. Anunga. Just hearing below me, there's going to be 4 minutes of added on time here. Still plenty of time for one of the teams to find the back of the net.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's one more chance in this game. It's just whether it can be taken.
Thomas.
Which team's going to get it? It's going to be the home team.
Thomas looking for the boxes. Tula Guerra just over the target. Patrick Okonkwo just slipping there, desperate to get Ottawa back underway.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that was a good chance. It was a good ball across. Felt him a little bit awkward. He didn't quite get over the ball and hit it over the bar.
Good clearance this time from Crapo. Solid header from Mansoret. Can't keep it in bounds. Throw in for Ottawa.
Yeah.
No one desperate to take it. Like you said, Derek, they'll be looking to wind down the clock in this late going.
Yeah, they'll be very happy with the point. You know, they've had to work hard for it. As I said, they've been put under a lot of pressure. They've been very resilient. Apart from the 2 set plays they had from the corners, or the 3 corners they had very quickly, they haven't really had an open chance. But what they have done is they've made it very, very, very difficult for the Battery to get shots on goal, clean strikes on goal, and neither goalkeeper really has made a meaningful save in the whole game, other than the penalty. You know, and that's probably the one that we'll remember.
It was Crapo who saved a Tula Guerra's penalty. Kept us at a scoreless draw as we're in added on time here at MUFC Hull Stadium. Now Harworth at the top of the box. Van Schaik's there. Can he get round him?
It's good play by Harworth. As I said, I've been impressed with him all game. He's worked hard, he's done again, and you know, this has been where they've been at their most dangerous, the corner kicks, and the Battery have already experienced this 3 times in quick succession, so now they're going to have to be really, really careful here. And I think the ploy here is to get everyone at the front post and to try and put a good delivery into the back post. And the Battery still haven't put anyone on that back post, if you notice there, look. So they're just trying to get loads of confusion and see that half that goal is wide open right now.
It's going to be Portier with the left-footed in-swinger. The referee has seen some pushing and shoving in the box. He's going to ask him to bring it back.
Even from that, you know, that rehearsal there, it's definitely gone into the back post.
Nikola Popovic below, just giving some instruction to Portier. Definitely one from the training ground, as you can expect. Harworth at the back post with Van Schaik.
Yeah, the far post is the danger here. Ball whipped in, especially if it's overcooked. Goalkeeper's held at the front post.
It's Portier in swinger. And the referee has seen some pushing and shoving that time. This time, signal one for the Battery. As the fresh legs break loose, Patrick Okonkwo finds shape back at the top. Kuzminski's looking for the lofted kick forward, getting his team up.
It's not his best there. He's rushed that.
Thomas with the lofted ball. And it'll be Enunga to press, keeping them in their own half. They've done just enough to win that. It's Atula Guerra now, tracking into the box. Safety in numbers from Ottawa.
Yeah,
won cleanly.
Yeah, it's good defending.
Obasi just jogging forward, looking, assessing his options.
Yeah, they're just getting it forward into the danger area, just get it out of there.
Mansoret with the clearance still in play. This time kicked it out.
Yeah, it's getting very scrappy. Everyone's getting agitated, and the referee's just blown the whistle there.
So that is going to be all from MUSC Health Stadium. It's the Charleston Battery taking on Ottawa Fury, and it's ended 0-0. But what a game, several chances. And in just a second, we'll take a look at some of those chances that we've had throughout the game.
Yeah, I think the most important highlight you're going to see is going to be the penalty miss. So here we go. You know, there's a lot of this. You know, ball bouncing around the box, headers just going over, lots of bodies fighting to get round. You know, free kicks from just out without being hitting the target. So there was lots of similar types of chances the whole time. So lots of shots just going over the bar. The corners were a big feature, particularly for Ottawa Fury. And here we go, another free kick just wide. Joe Kuzminski done as well.
And that is just about all we have time for here at MUSC Health Stadium. It's 0-0 Charleston Battery, Ottawa Fury FC. On behalf of Poppy Miller, Derek Broadley and the entire broadcast crew, thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic evening. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.